LPG enrolments under Ujjwala scheme have paused after the imposition of the Model Code of Conduct. Anshu Sharma has more details. So Anshu, what happens now?
With Model Code of Conduct in place, we learn new enrolment for LPG connection under Ujjwala will pause till a new government is formed. So far, 7.15 crore beneficiaries have been added. The target is of 8 crore LPG connections under Ujjwala by 2020. We also understand that about 20 lakh enrolments of beneficiaries under Ujjwala are at various stages. On the other hand, we learn from sources that oil marketing companies have sought clarity from Oil Ministry whether award of fuel retail dealership can continue since Model Code of Conduct has already kicked in. Remember, oil marketing companies advertise 78,000 locations for fuel retail dealership across India. We understand that of 78,000 locations advertised, about 76,000 bids have been received. About 20,000 single bids have already been identified by the oil marketing companies. 11,800 dealerships have been awarded via lucky draw, which means about 44,000 bids are yet to be ascertained by the oil marketing companies. Government so far has given about 4,800 letter of intent to the bidders for fuel retail dealership. Considering dealership award is a process undertaken by the oil marketing companies, Oil Ministry may ask the companies to seek clarity from Election Commission on dealership award. Back to you.
All right. Thanks, Anshu, so much for those details there. Let's now get you some market opinion. The stellar rally continues. Earlier in the day, we caught up with Gautam Trivedi of Nepean Capital on what he makes of the market, along with some of the top sectoral ideas.
I think the rally seems to be an emerging market rally. It's not limited to India. As you've seen year to date, most Asian markets are up. I mean, China, the Shanghai Composite is up as much as 27%. The Brazilian stock exchange is up to a new lifetime high. So as a result, I don't think this is limited. It has certainly coincided with the issues that we've had with Pakistan. But I think, and of course, the renewal, the resurgence in the approval ratings of the current government. But I think that seems to be more of a coincidence, and the money that's come in so far, almost $5 billion from foreign institutional investors, I think can sustain for some more time. I think a lot really depends on the outcome of the general election. And the mood that I saw in Asia last week was that if the BJP/the NDA were to come back into power, that would be, I think the rally would continue even more strongly. I think there's more pain in the auto sector. The pain's been caused by two factors, really. First is the fact that outside of the 4 meter length, which itself is a ridiculous metric, and I think only exists in India, where you have a lower GST or tax rate for cars under 4 meters and then those above. The second element, of course, is the tight funding scenario from NBFCs right now. So until both of those don't change and the NBFC funding doesn't accelerate, I don't mean just NBFCs, even banks for that matter have been pretty tight-fisted when it's come to auto financing. So until that doesn't change, I don't think you're going to see any significant improvement in auto numbers, and hence I'd actually stay away from the sector right now.
Okay, that's a view on the market. Let's now move on to the hot story, and more will play out this evening. We're learning from sources that Jet Airways lenders will continue to meet, and hopefully by this evening, maybe we have some more inputs on the kind of resolution plan that they have for this airline. Etihad seems to be showing reluctance to play ball now. Ritu is here with all the details. The pot is always stirring on this one. Ritu, now what's Etihad's contention here?
Well, you know, it continues to have its differences with Naresh Goyal, the promoter of Jet Airways, and with the current terms of the Memorandum of Understanding, it is very clear that it is not willing to bend over backwards to invest in Jet Airways. In fact, it has made it very clear to the lenders of Jet Airways that it will not put in any further penny if its terms and conditions are not met. Do remember the sticking points are all of those between, Naresh Goyal asking for 2 boat seats versus Etihad only allowing them 1, or Etihad wanting to to cap Naresh Goyal's stake at 22% for perpetuity, something that Goyal is not agreeable with, and therefore the two promoters have not really been able to see eye to eye, and we're given to understand that things have gone to an extent where Etihad has even conveyed to the bankers that if it comes to that, it is even willing to exit from Jet Airways at about 150 rupees per share. That price specifically has been quoted because, do remember, in its earlier letter to the lenders as well, Etihad had mentioned that the fair price at which it sees it could invest in Jet was at 150 per share, and that is the price it is also willing to exit at if some other investor comes to buy that. But the biggest problem at this point is, will there be another investor to buy out Etihad's stake? Will the lenders be able to find a new investor in this shorter time, or what is to be done after this? So therefore, lenders are going to be meeting this evening to take a call on what to do after Etihad has made its stance very clear. There's no interim financing coming in from Etihad. So what alternatives are there? Those will have to be considered by the lenders, because as we have been saying, NCLT is a route they want to avoid simply because it will lead to termination of contracts, and that is the last resort that the lenders will have to use.
Okay. All right, Ritu, thanks very much. So, well, the last word has definitely not been said on this story. Let's see how things play out. And Ritu is catching all of that action for us.